You just got your brand new The Sims 4 base game. You already know it will include 3 different worlds, and you have to be wondering, is one of them going to be a continuation to Pleasantview? So you click on Willow Creek and the world's description reads, after an unexpected flood took over the peaceful Pleasantview 25 years ago, its inhabitants tried rebuilding their day-to-day life while fighting to keep their legacy alive. But the river that parted the sides of town didn't only divide families on land. Between feuds, untold secrets, and suspicious presences, will the former Pleasantview society manage to thrive, or will they divide themselves even more amongst the streets of this creek? When you enter the world map, you notice some very recognizable details, and you can spot right away the different areas of this new yet familiar place. There's the very rich side of town, all dominated by Gothic architecture, and in fact, these streets seem to be the home to the Goth family and their descendants. On the southern side, right in front of the body of water that runs through Willow Creek, you immediately spot how houses in here are very similar to Pleasantview 150 to 170 Main Street. This architectural style is very much the opposite of the Tudor-inspired homes you find when you move to the eastern side of town. But the heavier English village influence fades away when it comes to what seems to be the newest side of town, with its coastal buildings clearly homes to the newer families of Willow Creek. And lastly, next to this town's museum and gym, 2 identical mansions mysteriously face each other. So let's start exploring the drama in this made-up Pleasantview 2.0 from this side of town, shall we? Sim Lane 215 is the residence of Miss Lilith Pleasant and her long-term fiancé, Mr. Rocco Records. The couple got together after meeting during a concert and realized they were just perfect for each other. Rumor has it, Lilith broke her relationship with high school sweetheart Dirk Dreamer to run away with Rocco, but she always strongly denies it. After exploring Sims World and the wide music offering it has to give, Lilith and Rocco decided to settle for a comeback to her roots. They, in fact, moved to the street she used to live in with her family, or at least that's according to Lilith. Her estranged twin sister Angela may have something to say about that. And where does Angela live? Well, right in front of Lilith, at what she considers to be her family's original address, 125 Sim Lane. Who came first? Obviously, according to Angela, she did. Right after the big flood in Pleasantview, she and her high school sweetheart, Dustin Broke, used the inheritance from her parents to purchase this beautiful mansion. And it's on one of the gorgeous home's terraces that Dustin proposed to her. Not too long later, curiously enough, Angela's history repeated itself as she gave birth to 2 twin daughters, named in honor of her mother, Mary Sue, and Dustin's mother, Brandy. Well, they didn't name the other twin Brandy, just Branda, because it sounded fancier. However, the birth of her twins didn't really clock Angela, who remained kind of estranged to her sister Lilith, who doesn't even know her own nieces. But now, with 2 teenagers under her roof, Angela might reconsider her need for help, as her beloved Dustin tragically followed his own father's footsteps and passed away after a dramatic jump in their swimming pool. But apart from his own offspring, Dustin has left behind his entire family tree. His brother Beau lives at 197 Pleasantview Street with his girlfriend Amanda Love. They met right after Amanda moved to town with her sister, Summer, and after falling in love for the love girly, Bo invited her to move into his newly purchased home located only a few steps away from his mother, Brandy. The couple happily enjoys the quiet suburban life, but as the days pass, Amanda keeps seeing the rest of the Broke family grow and wonders if Bo will ever pop the question and make her his wife. And let me tell you, these two surely have someone to look up to because Bo's stepbrother, Dirk Dreamer, has become a family man himself. The heartbreaking ending of his relationship with Lilith Pleasant didn't discourage him as he found a beautiful, dedicated wife in Lady Mellow. The couple has two beautiful children, Darla and Derek, and they do their best to see their family thrive in the society of Willow Creek. Lady truly enjoys being part of the Dreamer's legacy, even if she always feels that her sister-in-law or stepsister-in-law, Angela, has always tried to outshine her. Sure, the relationship is not the best and is built on old resentment, like Angela getting pregnant at the same time as Lady and throwing herself an over-the-top baby shower without really involving Lady in it. But who cares? Lady knows that she's always had her defunct in-laws' approval, and even if she misses them dearly, she thinks of them whenever she feels sad. Yeah, honey, if you're connecting the dots correctly, you've probably figured out that Pleasantview OGs Brandy Broke and Darren Dreamer ended up together, and when the opportunity arrived after the flood, they found a nice home for their new family and moved to 195 Pleasantview Street with their respective kids and the daughter that they had together, Diana. But now that both Brandy and Darren are gone, the home just doesn't feel the same. The youngest of the Broke brothers, Caleb, is not that much older than his little half-sister Diana, but he's growing a sense of responsibility and protection towards her as they are the only two left in their parents' house. Will Caleb manage to help Diana in her young adult life without having to give up on his own? And will the rest of the family step up to be there for them? I know we've mentioned some iconic last names already in this exploration of the, let's say, eastern side of Willow Creek, but you may be wondering, where are the Goths at? Well, the Goths are at 165 Sim Lane and 167 Sim Lane. Fortunately, the iconic Goth mansion was not destroyed by the flood and stands still, up in the most prestigious side of Willow Creek. And that's where you can find Alexander Goth, his wife Lucy, former Lucy Burb, now Lucy Goth, and their two kids Isabella and Jonathan. This is the home where the family once lived happily together, even with Alexander's sister Cassandra, her shady husband Don, and their son Narciso. When the head of the family, Mortimer, was still alive, he did try to keep everyone under the same roof, but once his health started deteriorating, the chances of keeping all Sims in one home were as little as the chances of his wife Bella coming back, practically inexistent. That's why Cassandra and Dawn decided to get their kid Narciso, move out, and purchase the land next to Cassandra's former family's home to build the mansion of their dreams. Unfortunately, this decision created more separation between the Goths, and it might have been the last straw for poor Mortimer, who one day took his last breath on the floor of his very own mansion. I mean, his death somehow brought siblings Cassandra and Alexander back on good terms, but some may speculate his sudden demise had to do with suspicious financial reasons. You see, by the end of his days, Mortimer wasn't found as wealthy as he was rumored to be. And allegedly, his money problems started right after the flood. Some say he was once visited by a blonde, tanned, very sexy lady who yelled at him and then left his house. And these rumors always mention how, on that day, this lady seemed particularly bloated. Could that lady have been 170 Mainstream resident Dina Caliente? Willow Creek citizens can't tell for sure, but everybody knows that one day she and her sister Nina moved to town, having shifted from alleged kidnappers to alleged kid caregivers as they carried a mysterious child with them. The child's name has always sounded suspicious, being Gunther Jr., but it's also true that in a town considered Pleasantview successor, he's not the only one being named after Sunset Valley's founder Gunther Goth. The Caliente household now includes young Gunther and his elderly mother and aunt Dina and Nina. Gunther is the same who has a passion for questioning everything, being very intelligent himself and kind of a bookworm. The Caliente ladies have decided that they're going to enjoy however long they have left to live, just sunbathing by the pool and having cocktails at sunset. Both Dina and Nina never want to talk about Gunther's ever-growing questions about his past and their past. How can they afford the lavish lifestyle they are all so accustomed to? And even more importantly, to young Gunther, why did his mother move to Willow Creek? And where is the rest of his family, like, for example, his father? But honey, Gunther Caliente isn't the only sim in this town who would like to know more about his parents. In fact, his neighbor Donna Langerak is desperate to learn her own family history. She was raised by a single mother, Kaylin, a very hard-working woman, but one that always seemed to be keeping many secrets from her own daughter. First of all, who the heck is her father? In fact, Donna was raised with the idea that the late Kaylin was the only parent she needed to know, and her mother often referred to her alleged father as a quote donor. But is Donna really the result of science, or is there more to the story? She's always had her curious, beautiful green eyes set on the upper side of Willow Creek, but she never really understood why. Believe it or not, Donna might find some answers at her next-door neighbor's Summer Love, who definitely is the Willow Creek potty girl. After her sister settled down with Bo broke, Summer decided to invest more in her aspiration of becoming a potty animal, and in fact, she does organize the coolest events with the crème de la crème of Willow Creek. It's true that Summer is oblivious to the twists and turns in some of these families' history. However, she often tells Donna that a certain elderly uptown man doesn't really behave like the family man he pretends to be, as he often talks about how he's tired of his wife's family, as he reminisces of some good old days with love triangles with different sisters, and even an affair with a lady that was always dressed like a sexy maid. And last but not least, in the northeastern side of Willow Creek, a young couple has recently moved in and doesn't know yet that all this generational drama and trauma might be the recipe to shake things up in their stalling marriage. Yeah, I'm talking about Eliza and Bob Pancakes, who seem to be not only on the outskirts of Willow Creek, but also on the outskirts of all these connections and secrets. One thing is clear, an invitation to one of Summer Love's exclusive parties would get them up to date on what's really happening in town. Honestly, I would have loved to load Willow Creek for the first time and find this quantity of drama and lore, especially for the fun of seeing how the Pleasantview storyline may have continued in The Sims 4. I had so much fun deconstructing Willow Creek to create the stage for the events of Pleasantview 2.0, imagining of course that 25 years passed since The Sims 2. I'm now adding on screen the gallery information on the lots you saw saw in this specific video if you want to check them out for your own save file. And I'm thinking of releasing a second video to give you more about the behind the scene and the construction of this different take on Willow Creek. Do let me know if you enjoyed this makeover on the Sims 4 base game lore by leaving a like on the video and sharing your thoughts in the comment section. If you don't want to miss videos like this one, deep dives and gameplay live streams, feel free to join me here at the Drama House by hitting the subscribe button. I can't wait to see you again. Oh, and this was Lady Drama, by the way. Nice to meet you if this is your first time on my channel. And if you've already stopped by, well, welcome home, baby. Thank you so much for stopping by today. I'm sending you a big hug and I hope I'll see you very soon.